here, back on video 2 of the vent tube extensions on the blow-through carburetor, and how did it work, what did we find here. I'll try to keep this video a little bit shorter, just kind of short and to the point. So I had a couple questions here that were asked. Well, I guess first one, did it work? Yeah, it worked. I was able to gain about 6 pounds of boost and keep the same air-fuel ratio, where I could not do that before. I was maxed out on the rear jets on the carburetor. So I picked up about 150 horsepower with this combination and was able to fuel that with E85, around 26 pounds of boost, so 20 to 26 pounds of boost. I did have a couple blasts at 30. It was a little bit lean for my taste, so we're going to go back to the drawing board a bit later. What changed with the fuel curve? Well, it's hard to tell on my application because I have a power valve in the primary and the secondary, and both the primary and the secondary would flow more fuel. So it's hard to tell if the power valves were making a bigger difference or the signal change, like when the signal changed. Because it felt like the power valves, you could make a bigger difference, especially on the secondary, because the whole circuit could flow more. So I'd have to do more testing to figure out if it did change when the fuel would come in, if that did change. But this goes to the next question: is how was performance off boost? Off boost, fired up, drive it. It was like I didn't change anything with the carburetor. It still cruised the same. It drove the same. Only under like decent boost. 1 to 2 pounds of boost coming in, 3 pounds. Didn't really start feeling it. I mean, how would you? But under full throttle, yeah, it would flow a lot more fuel. But driving around, it was just fine. And that leads to the next point, is that because it's flowing more fuel, and if I wasn't still trying to get more power out of this carburetor, I could have easily took jet out of the primary and added it to the secondary to get my drivability back. But I had a race coming up, so I had to keep the front end, the primary side, as a crutch and keep it extra lean or extra rich on cruise to help me out wide open throttle. Did the length of the tube change anything? Or, I didn't change the length of the tube at all to test. I guess I wouldn't know until I have some more time driving it and get the power valve situation all figured out, especially with the drivability side of the lean cruising. But I expect it would. Some of my buddies with superchargers, they do say that it does affect like the tip in on the carburetor, how quickly it comes in. So I guess what's next? Well, currently this is a 5.3. It's on 26 pounds of boost, stock cylinder heads, forged rods and pistons. I think it's making about 800 wheel, somewhere around there. It's not really fun to me anymore. The last setup I had was a naturally aspirated 632 with some big cheap heads. That made like 937 at the tire with a 6,000 RPM converter. So anytime you just tap the throttle, it made over 900 wheels from 5,000 up. It was an absolute beast, and it was fun to drive except for the headaches and breaking parts all the time. This one, 1,300 miles on it this summer, didn't break a single thing. That wasn't my fault. So that's great. It's still running. I can turn the key. I could go for a ride right now if it wasn't snowing outside. So really, turn the boost up. That's the only thing else I really can do to make this a little bit more fun. I mean, the power level's getting close. It's just not that snap, that instant, and that out of control feel where you're just pedaling the shit out of the car and doing burnouts from 40 rolls. When it pulls at 30, it started feeling like it used to, and so that's where I'm going to go. The carburetor does need a few changes. It's going back to Pro Systems. Hats off to them. The carb worked exactly the way they really said it was. Going to work for my level. I said 1,000 horsepower on motor and around 800 wheel. It's doing it, but it's maxed out. So they've agreed. Patrick's going to drill the metering blocks to equal the boosters. They're a bit smaller at 167 thousandths to 190 on the booster, and then he's also at my request going to put annual boosters in it, just to give me that extra room I do need on the top end for future growth. And since a certain level of horsepower is never enough very long, you do a couple hits and you want to turn it up, and that's the addiction of boost. So yeah, I think the next video is going to be on the fuel system of the car, or maybe the air intake sensors I have and the cheap setup I got there, or maybe my DIY bump box that I've made. But yeah, anyways, thank you very much for watching.